Welcome back. You're watching Newsx. My name is Vineet. A man in Greater Noida, a father had to watch his 27-year-old son die due to sheer apathy. Yuvraj Mehta was returning from his Dunhumbi India office in Gurugram Sector 54 to his house in Tata Eureka Park Society, Noida Sector 150 late Friday evening when tragedy struck. Yuvraj was travelling in his Grand Vitara when his car went out of control due to dense fog, broke the wall of a deep drain and fell into a basement filled with water. Yuvraj was just 500 meters short of his residence when he crashed through the drain wall. The visibility was so poor that Yuvraj missed a sharp turn and could not stop his car from the fall. But the car overturned and began floating, allowing Yuvraj to come out of the car and seek help. Yuvraj immediately called his father, somehow allegedly stuck on the car's roof. On getting the SOS call, Yuvraj's father, Rajkumar Mehta, rushed to the spot. Yuvraj cried for help in front of his father, showing a torch. Rajkumar immediately called 112, after which local police and fire brigade reached the site with small and large cranes. The local teams tried to rescue him, but without success. Yuvraj stood on the top of his car through all of this and repeatedly shouted for help. But the rescue operation was challenging. There was darkness and dense fog, and as per locals, police and fire personnel refrained from entering the water due to cold conditions. There was also a risk of hitting under construction columns inside the basement. Yuvraj's cries were in vain, as at around 1:45 a.m. Yuvraj, along with his car, submerged in the water. The SDRF team reached the spot later but could not succeed due to lack of necessary equipment. It was after this that the NDRF team was called, and the team reached nearly 1.5 hours later. The rescue operation then was conducted for 2 hours. Yuvraj was finally pulled out and taken to Kailash Hospital, where he was declared dead. Serious lapses have come to the fore after this tragedy. Why were there no street lights? Why were there no road markers on such a dangerous turn? And when push comes to shove, why could not trained water personnel and equipments reach in time? Let's listen into what his father had to say first.
कार्रवाई तो केवल बॉडी रिकवर हुआ, लेकिन तब रिकवर हुआ जब उसकी जान चली गई। जो सही समय पर अगर सही समय पर फैसिलिटेट किया जाता तो उसकी कीमती जान बच सकती थी। 12 बजे उसने फ़ोन किया था कि पापा मैं नाले में गिर गया हूँ, बचाओ आ करके। तो फिर मैं दौड़ पड़ा उसकी ओर और लगभग थोड़ा 30 से 40 मिनट लगा हमको नाला खोजने में, एग्जैक्टली किस नाले में वो फंसा हुआ है। तो गए तो वहाँ मैंने फिर फ़ोन किया तो उसने बताया कि वो गाड़ी से निकल करके कार के ऊपर छत पर लेटा हुआ है ताकि बैलेंस रहे गाड़ी। बोला कि धीरे धीरे ये गाड़ी अब डूब रही है, मुझे जल्दी बचाओ। और सही में धीरे धीरे ही डूब रही थी और 2 घंटा उसने स्ट्रगल किया अपनी जान बचाने के लिए। और लोकेशन ट्रेस होने के लिए उसने अपने मोबाइल टॉर्च को ऑन रखा था ताकि पता चले कहाँ है, लेकिन फॉग में एकदम हल्की किरण नज़र आ रही थी वहाँ। और रेस्क्यू में केवल इन लोगों की टीम के पास जो रेस्क्यू टीम थी, सरकारी रेस्क्यू टीम, उसमें केवल रस्सी था जो लोग बार बार फेंक रहे थे लेकिन सही जगह पहुँच नहीं रहे। तो इसी में हो गया ऑप्शन। अगर एक ऑप्शन काम नहीं कर रहा था तो दूसरे ऑप्शन को एक्सप्लोर किया जा सकता था। वहाँ बोट भेजा जा सकता था मेरे बेटे के पास, या कोई तैराक होता, स्विमर होता तो उसको वहाँ पर पहुँचाया जा सकता था। ये दोनों चीज़ नहीं हुई और उसकी जान चली।
Joining us on the program to talk more about this is Mr. Sanjay Sahai, former IPS, Taira Hassan, social activist, with us on the show as well. Mr. Anurag Kulshrestha, road safety expert for tracks, is with us on the program as well. Anurag, I'll begin with you. Well, I'm extremely disappointed, extremely dismayed and perplexed, and obviously, wondering as to why basic amenities, basic signages on roads that are extremely important for quote unquote the 4th largest economy in the world are not given priority. Has life become so cheap, so inexpensive in our country that an opportunity to save a life was also missed because the people who showed up to save this gentleman were only there for the tamasha. They had no training, no way of figuring out how to get him out. Where are we going as a country? Where are we going as a society? And where are we going, as peoples, if this is the kind of apathy that lawmakers are going to show towards citizens, people who pay taxes when they buy these cars for the very same roads?
Yes, Vineet, well said by you, because there are two things. One is we are still sailing our 140 crore people. We are not setting up the safety of the citizens. Number two, our entire engineering system, because it's a lack of road safety measurements were there clearly, because no lane marking, no speed calming over there. As I have heard about this, he was at a very great speed and he just fall in this pit. So number one, speed calming was not there at T points. Number two, there's no, just to a poor visibility, there was no lane markings, road signs. And the greatest irony in our country, there are two things, there are two forces. Like one is the administration, that is the civil bodies, engineering department, what they are doing in our country. They are dependent on the third party audits, on the concessionaires, and they themselves are not doing anything about the safety. Number two, the police personnel, they are setting up the priority for the safety of the people and they are recommending something to the engineering departments. So this is again the irony. Non-technical police department is suggesting the ways to improve the situation on our roads and suggesting to the engineering department, which is not doing anything at their end. So these are the things. First, we have to focus on the system, where we are going. Are we focusing on the safety of the people, or just we are collecting the revenue and coming up with the micro projects and all these things? So safety of the people must be put forward at top priority, which is nowhere in our India. You can't believe Pakistan, when started their highway network in its country, they have started with one highway force to look after the administration on their highways. But India,
are you talking about Pakistan? Are you really comparing India with Pakistan? It's a shame that you have to say that.
Yes,
but it's true.
But in India, we don't have the highway force till now. We are losing 50% of the lives on our highways, but nowhere there's a discussion of the highway force in India, which should be governed by the central government, because state governments, they are not focusing on the deaths on highways due to their poor enforcement system or the lack of the police personnel. And
2 lakh people die, right? 2 lakh people die, Anurag, every year, right? Because of road accidents?
Yes. More than 2 lakhs, because as per the WHO, if you focus the WHO, they are saying double of these deaths are there, because we are just focusing on the deaths within 1 day or 2 days. But the people who are dying after 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 10 days, after 1 month, we don't have any fundamental or the data on this. So WHO is giving just double. If 172 is the figure right now, then it must be more than 3 lakhs.
And it's data. It can be manipulated. And it's data. It can be very easily manipulated.
Yes. We have the example of Tamil Nadu. They have got first prize in case of reducing deaths around 4 years back. And what happened? The 50% data was missed out of that. So manipulation is there. I don't know about the Punjab also. They are also claiming last year they have reduced deaths by 43 or 45%, but we don't have the data for that. How they have reduced, what are the measurements they have taken. In case of road safety, there are two things only. One is the road marking and second is the signages. It's missing from everywhere. Our government agencies, they are focusing on the ornamental decoration, not the safety decoration on our roads. And in Noida itself, because this is a matter of the Noida, you can't believe we don't have the footpath in Noida, and Noida authority is developing the footpath throughout Noida and it's not walkable. They are plowing the trees on that footpath. It's a just 2 feet or 3 feet footpath and there's a tree on that everywhere in the entire Noida. So are we thinking about the safety of our people, or we are just doing the ornamental decoration everywhere? To whom? Yes,
okay,
please.
all right. You have put in some important points. Taira ji, public apathy, governmental apathy, this is obviously very disappointing. I mean, I don't even want to talk about us being the fourth largest economy or the fastest growing economy. The GDP is, rising from 6 to 7% in 2026. All of these things really don't matter, when basic amenities like road signs are not available. You can make highways, you can spend thousands of crores of rupees on these highways, but if they're not going to allow you to travel safely from point A to point B, it is just headline management, ma'am. That's all that is.
Yes, very true. It is a very, very painful incident. And it happens every day, in India. We are seeing that in this incident, the very dynamic, young, promising engineer, software engineer lost his life. And this exposed the condition of the roads of the Noida, what the civic authorities are doing, why there was not a street light, no mark on lane marking, no strong street light to deal in the thick fog. The fog was very thick, they are saying. Why the pits were open? It's a deep pit in which he had fallen. And imagine he was just calling his father to save my life. I have fallen in the pit. Who will be responsible for that? Where our taxpayers' money is going? Where it is being utilized? Accountability should be fixed. We only talk about the condition of road. Roads are such in bad condition. Why the civic bodies are not doing their work, not performing their responsibility? If they are not performing, and such a precious lives we are losing every day, then who is responsible? I think accountability should be fixed. And in these cases, wherever these type of cases take place, the accountability is not fixed. That's why they get away, and next time this happens, and this become a common thing, because precious lives does not matter. So I think it should be taken very seriously that not as a one man, one citizen of this country, and this software engineer, promising young man, lost his life, and he was crying for his life. He rang his father and said, "Save me." Why this deep pit was open? Who all are responsible of that site? Not looking after
Nothing will happen to them.
That area.
They will all get away, ma'am. They will all get away. Nothing will happen to them. I promise you that.
This is the thing. They will all get away. We must put it strongly that now these people must come and answer, and the accountability must be fixed. Where our taxpayer money is going? Our people are losing their life every day, and they only thinking that you are just decorate the city. As some of the panelists were saying, they are putting the trees and doing things. And for whom? At whose sake you are doing this? Utilize this money on the place where it is supposed to be. Make the roads better. Cover the pits. And see why this deep pit was open. Question is this. Emphasis should be on that. That deep pit was open. And this man had fallen in that pit. Imagine. Who's there to take the whole responsibility?
You're quite right, ma'am. Mr. Sahai, at night, a lot of these metropolitan cities are like the wild, wild west. I'll give you an example. I was in Delhi last night and I was driving, and a car whizzed past me on not a highway but an arterial road very close to where I live, perhaps at the speed of 150 kilometers per hour. That's a lot of speed for a car, and I was very positive that either this person is going to kill himself or he's going to kill others. I haven't read anything to that effect this morning, so I'm glad nothing untoward happened, but that is a basic fact. In a city like Delhi, in a capital city, there is no police to be seen at night to man and monitor what's going on. If there is an accident, or if there is a problem with the road, or if there are foggy conditions, there is no one around. It's completely abandoned. That does point to a very serious problem that citizens have to deal with. And one problem is also, of course, which we are talking about today, which led to the death of this young man, 27 years of age, his whole life in front of him because of the negligence of a few who don't really know how to do their job.
Primarily, all our roads are death traps, and it is being proven over and over again since I think decades together. We have the largest number of fatal accidents, fatal road accidents in the world, and we have been topping it to our shame for the last, I think, a decade or even more than that. Coming to the policing, before we come to the policing, the other fact is also there that even in this particular case, if the FIR details are not there available in the public domain, but it generally shows that nobody has been named in the FIR. As far as I am concerned, accountability part is concerned, it is very clear cut that it will be the local officer who is controlling the Greater Noida Authority with regards to traffic, giving permission for these builders, and also the traffic police and the local police. They are straight away clearly accountable for this exercise. You have 1 lakh cameras, I think, in Delhi, controlled by the Delhi government, and another couple of thousand cameras by Delhi police, and by the extension, the Greater Noida Authority would be having an equal number of it. The problem is a problem where nobody wants to work. So it's all drama which is going all around the place. And we keep on talking about taxpayers' money. How do you bring the taxpayers' money, translate it into enforcement? We saw the bus turning into flames, I think on the Bangalore Hyderabad highway, I think a couple of months back. I can give you n number of instances which will clearly prove you that it's a broken system. We have to come to criminal negligence, and for the time being, it cannot be criminal negligence, it is a straight away criminality, and these people have to be booked for murder cases. Let them prove, or in culpable homicide not amount to murder. Let the burden of proof be on the officials. Again, they will bring some cronies of builders, low-level fellows of builders. You come from the Uppar tragedy till today. And it is not only roads, it's the complete thing which is broken. We have crossed the level of governance. It is not, you're talking about apathy. It is not apathy. It is an indifference, and a very audacious indifference that nobody can do anything to us. And the governments who are governing, they have literally absolutely no idea, no interest in anything. It can be anything, double engine, triple engine, whatever engine you can talk about, it is left to you. And you're talking about the 4th largest economy. What does 4th largest economy mean?
Nothing.
We are 140 crore people. And you see our per capita, and you see the number of fatal accidents. You will realize whether we are 4th largest or where we stand. When our, basically the security and safety of the individuals at is risk. And at this particular spot, earlier also, there's some incidents, or at least there have been complaints for last 12 months. And even on that complaint, nobody is reacting to it. Every single major accident in this country has a whole history of complaints, whole history of issues which has been brought to the public officials' notice, and there has been absolutely no reaction. What we get is so much of fines collected, so many cameras put, so much of artificial intelligence, all variety of things. It is basically window dressing to a level which is unimaginable. Is not only a broken system. I think there are lots of other things which move around in the wheeling dealing of this whole system, and that is we are where we are. And post the incident, also post the accident, post any sort of a mishap of this nature, like literally everything, everybody goes scot free, and life moves on in the manner it does.
Anurag, you know, in the United States and most of the civilized part of the world, which is Europe, you know, if something like this happens and there is a negligence on behalf of the state, you can take them to court and get paid millions of dollars for their negligence. Forget about that ever happening in India. If the AQI, which is, by the way, 500 plus today in North India, doesn't kill you, then the roads will. What are we really getting for our votes? What are we really getting for our tax money? You know, Mr. Sahai mentioned that the system is broken. I beg to differ with him. There is no system. We don't have a system.
Exactly, Vineet. This is going on, and I'm just giving you an example. Around 11 or 12 years back, Mr. Gopinath Munde's, I think you all will be aware that that was there on one crossing in Delhi itself. And that case was transferred to CBI. And CBI has given has opted this IIT Delhi and Central Road Research Institute for the reporting point of view. These both the organizations has just submitted 2 reports to CBI that there is a great need of change in the design of the crossing, and second thing, the visibility, poor visibility due to the over vegetation on the road is the culprit behind it. What has happened? 12 years has been passed. Everybody was crying. मेरा दोस्त चला गया, सीट बेल्ट पहना होता तो करता, मुझे बहुत दुख है. Everybody was crying. What has happened till now? The same situation is there. So this is the gravity of the issue in India. If a top leader is passed away, no impact on anyone, any government. Although he is having, I think now two daughters are in political class again. The one is the MP and one is the MLA. What's going on? So the entire political system. Then we are focusing on our smart cities. Can anybody tell me, what is the concept of the smart city? How to save the people, how to make a city a livable city? Does there any concept behind the smart city? There's nothing. Only ornamental decoration on our roads. This is going on everywhere, and we are reducing basically the visibility and the safety of the people on our roads. That's why accidents are increasing day by day, and we are not setting, because like our Sahaji was telling very clearly that we must set the accountability. But on which ground? Do we have any principle? Do we have any law? Do we have any guidelines, rules and regulations on which, if I'm complaining, or if anybody else complaining to the court, what they will be doing? And the system which I'm telling you, the system, police is doing the chalaning everywhere. They have become very happy and happily announcing, oh, 10 lakhs chalan this year, 50 lakhs chalan this year, this much of, but they are never announcing that this much of FIR increasing in our police thanas. They are reducing it, but they are happily announcing that. I don't know what the concept behind it. Then second thing, political personalities like the government, they are announcing time to time in India that we will waive off the challans. This is a next irony. And then the last, our judicial system. You must have number of memes, number of videos on our YouTubes and everywhere. You come to the Lok Adalat and get the rebate of this. So what's the मजाक बना रखा है हमने अपने सिस्टम को कि government will not do anything, people will not do anything, and the judiciary will not do anything on that. They are not serious. Then who will be serious? I think only the media. If instead of raising the point just because of one death, if they will focusing on such issues through the media trials in case of any murder case, if media will start this trial case. It's a good example. If Gopinath Munde died on the road accidents after 12 years, what has happened over there? What has happened because of 2 reports given by the Honorable IIT Delhi and CRI? What has happened on that? So if few of the people will come forward and they'll asking the questions, because in Parliament we have agreed it, we are unable to stop accidents, then who will stop this in our country? Government is failed. They have announced in Parliament very clearly. So if they are unable to do anything, they will not do anything, then who will do? So just a media trial is required for most of the accidents, not every accident. And shamelessly, I'm saying, just 7 days back, such incident has happened at the same place when a truck collided at the same place. Even then, there's nothing, no accountability, nothing is being set anywhere in India.
All right,
yes,
Taira ji, the media can do only as much. There are thousands of accidents that happen every day around the country. It's a big country.
Yes.
Major governments have been given a chance to overhaul the system, change things as they are. But it seems, they're failing. They're failing miserably. Like I said,
yes.
If these accidents are not going to kill you, the AQI will.
Yes, very true. This whole system has collapsed, you can say. It's a failure of the government also. And the institution like that, Because again, I will see the civic bodies are doing nothing. They know they're not taking the responsibility. They know they will get away after that. So when they will get away, so why should they bother? They will not take the responsibility. And why should media every time take up the issue and do the media trial? When I think yes, media should is a fourth pillar of the constitution. It should be our democracy. It should go ahead and should raise the voice of the common man and fix the accountability, try to fix the accountability, make the opinion. But thing is this, what the elected governments are doing, what these institutions are doing, why they are not doing their responsibility. In this way, they will get away with no, everything media will do. No, it is the responsibility of those people who are responsible for maintaining roads, for safety of the each and every citizen
All right,
of
ma'am,
this
we have a
country.
paucity of
So
time.
they are responsible.
We have a paucity of time, ma'am. I just want to get Mr. Sahai's closing comment on this, and then we're going to wrap. Mr. Sahai? Sir, I think you're muted. Sir?
I think the India's political class, the governing class, has the government. They have nothing to do with governance, and more so when it comes to traffic, policing and matters of that nature. What they are interested in is controlling the police for their own vested interest. While coming to the police and the regulatory authorities, I think they have been allowed to run amok, and everybody is self-certifying and evaluating, and the governments are also evaluating in the manner they want. So literally the roads have become dead traps, and I have not seen any improvements, but for what other panelists have been talking about is very decorative stuff which is happening all around the place, and data and figures which are being manipulated to a level to give an impression that everything is hunky-dory, and however much effort you make. These are the thick-skinned people. Nothing is going to work on them. The only thing which will work is civil society standing up. And Anna Hazare has shown, and there are other instances also. We had Mahendra Singh Tikar, and then these people came to their knees. In Nirbhaya case, these people came to the knees. In Anna Hazare, these people came to the knees. I think that's the only way out, and they should be dictated to do. We don't have to request and ask them. They should be dictated to do. The Noida official who is in charge of that particular place and the police officials who are in charge, plus the district administration, they have to be booked in this criminal case. There is absolutely no way out. And other panelists were talking about the accountability part of it. It is hard-coded in law. Let's be very clear, it is hard-coded in law. If you give the investigation to me, certainly we will make it very, very clear where the lapses are, in which manner, and there is sufficient and enough evidence, both circumstantial, technical, and also data-based information, and also the apathy, which will clearly show that there is a clear-cut criminal negligence which can be taken as criminality, which can be taken as those being at least in knowledge of everything. When you are in knowledge of something and if you don't act, how do I believe that you don't have the intention to kill people? Directly, indirectly, tangentially, whichever way you call it, I say that the intention, the mens rea of a criminal case, that is there because it is happening every day.
Fair enough,
they
sir.
know the whole
Fair
background.
enough,
So that is
all right. So we've run out of time, but I appreciate the passion, and I appreciate the suggestions as well as the emotions there. We take a short break.